All right, here's our video for lesson 3-3. This is where students use arrays to multiply two-digit multiplication. So it kind of goes through, and I can kind of show you what it looks like with the regular multiplication problem, but this is where students are using arrays in order to multiply. So if a student does know how to multiply out the regular way, they do discourage that in the beginning. And they kind of have them focus on multiplying using the array. This is an array that is already multiplied out for them. And so what you do is you break the number apart. So as you can see, let me put it in slideshow mode. As you can see that 45 times 23 became, you break it down into how many tens, how many ones. Now you can break it into other numbers that are easy for you to break it into, but the easiest way to break it apart is into tens and ones. So 4 tens is the number 40. 5 ones is obviously 5. And then 23 is 20 plus 3. And I'm not going to really go into much on this one because we have a lot of examples that I have. So the first thing I have the students do is estimate 61 times 25. And they're really good with the tens, so I'm not going to use the number line for the tens. 61 is between 60 and 70, and it's closest to 60. 25 is in between 20 and 30, and because it's at the halfway mark, it gets rounded up to 30. I look for my basic fact, which is 6 times 3 equals 18. There are 2 zeros in my factors, so it should be 2 zeros in my product. And so since I overestimated here and I overestimated here, I know that this is actually an overestimate. And we're going to get into that when we get into this lesson, talking about if it's an overestimate or an underestimate. So my estimated answer was 61 times 25. 61 became 60. 25 became 30. 6 times 3 was 18. 2 zeros in my factors, 2 zeros in my product. Now, I break 61 into 60 plus 1. I break 25 into 20 plus 5, just like when we did expanded form. And now I'm going to take 60 times 20, 60 times 20, and I'm going to take the 60 times the 5, 60 times 5. So basically the 60 goes with the 20 and the 60 goes with the 5. And now I'm finished with the 60. And now I'm going to do the same thing. The 1 is going to go with the 20 and the 1 is going to go with the 5. 1 times 20, 1 times 5. And now everything's been paired together. And now I'm actually going to just do the same thing that we did with the opening lesson for the unit. 6 times 2 is 12. How many zeros in my factors? 1, 2 should be how many in my product? 1, 2. Basic fact is 6 times 5, which is 30. How many zeros in my factors? 1 should be 1 added to my product. Basic fact is 1 times 2. How many zeros in my factors? 1 should be 1 added to my product. And finally, 1 times 5 is 5. And then all you would do is, I'm going to write this problem down, 61 times 25, and you would line it up and you would add up all of the products. They're called partial products because it's only part of the multiplication problem. So 1,200, since it's the greatest, I usually like to put that first. Then the 300, then the 20, and then the 5. These are all the partial products. And if you want to, you can fill in zeros into the empty spaces. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 1 plus 0 is 1. And my final answer is 1,525. And we knew it was going to be an overestimate, but it is close to 1,800. All right, let's take a look at another one. So I have 90 times 59. 90 is between 90 and 100, and obviously it rounds to 90. 59 is between 50 and 60, and it rounds to 60. My estimated answer, 9 times 6, is 54. 1, 2 zeros in my factors, 1, 2 zeros in my product. Come over here and write that out. 90 times 59. 90 rounds to 90 because it's closest to 90. That's easy. 54 with 2 zeros. I know it is an overestimate because the 59 rounded up. So it is an overestimate. And I'm going to write out my problem. 90 times 59. And now I'm going to break it apart. 90 just becomes a 90 plus a 0 because there's nothing in the ones place. 59 becomes, 59 becomes 59 finally becomes 50 plus 9 because 5 tens is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 9 is 9 in the ones place. I put my 90 and my 50 together, 90 times 50. Then my 90 and my 9, 90 times 9. 90 is finished. Now I do my 0 times my 50 and my 0 times my 9. Everything's been paired together. Basic fact, 9 times 5 is 45. 1, 2 zeros in my factors, 1, 2 zeros in my product. 9 times 9 is 81. 1 0 in my factor, 1 0 in my product. 0 times anything we know is 0, and 0 times 50 is 0, and 0 times 9 is 0. I line it up. Here we go. 4,500, 810, and then we have zeros. And we can fill in zeros into all the empty spaces so it's lined up nice and neatly. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 8 plus 5 is 13. 4 plus 1 is 5. My estimated answer is 5,310, which is very close to my real answer, so I know I did it correctly. All right, let's take a look at the next one. This one is into the hundreds place. So here we go. This one I'm looking at what 2 hundreds is it in between. And now I'm going to write it out because the students do struggle with the hundreds. So it's between 600 and 700 for my estimate. 610, 620, 630, 640, 650, 660, 670, 680, 690, and 659 would go very close to 660. And so we know anything past the halfway mark rounds up. So 659 becomes 700. And 17 is between 10 and 20, and that rounds to 20. And so 7 times 2 is the basic fact, and that's 14. 1, 2, 3 zeros in my factors. 1, 2, 3 zeros in my product. The estimated answer is 14,659 times 17. Now, when I break it into the partial products, we're going to have 3. So I'm going to draw an extra box, just an extra line in here. And so it would be 600 because it's in the hundreds place. So 600. Then 50 because it's in the tens place. And 9 because it's in the ones place. So it's breaking it down according to place value. The 6 is in the hundreds place, 600. The 5 is in the tens place, 5, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And the 9 is in the ones place. The 17 still gets broken apart as regular. This 110 means 10. And the 7 is in the ones place. So the 600 gets paired with the 10. 600 times 10. And the 600 gets paired with the 7. 600 times 7. And I'm finished with the 600. The 50 gets paired with the 10. 50 times 10. And the 50 gets paired with the 7. 50 times 7. I'm finished with the 50. The 9 gets paired with the 10. 9 times 10. The 9 gets paired with the 7. 9 times 7. Everything's got paired together. Now I'm ready to get started. Circle the basic fact. 6 times 1 is 6. 1, 2, 3 zeros in my factors. 1, 2, 3 zeros in my product. 6 times 7 is the basic fact. Is 42. 1, 2 zeros in my factors. 1, 2 zeros in my product. 5 times 1 is the basic fact. 5 times 1 is 5. 1, 2 in my factors. 1, 2 in my product. 5 times 7 is the basic fact. 35. 1 in my factor. 1 in my product. 9 times 10 is 90. And 9 times 7 is 63. I come over here, draw out my lines to keep it nice and neat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. My 6 for 6,000. 1, 2. And my 2 in the hundreds and my 4 in the thousands. 1, 2. My 5 in the hundreds place. 1. My 5 and my 3 in my hundreds place. Let me extend my lines. Then I have 90 and 63. Fill in zeros. Now I'm ready to add it up. 3 plus 0 is 3. 5 plus 9 is 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. 0 down at the bottom. Carry my 2 to the top. Don't forget that 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 2 at the bottom. 1 at the top. 1 plus 6 is 7. And 7 plus 4 is 11. And I'd carry my 1 over and put my 1 down here. My final answer, 11,203. And that's close to my estimated answer, so I know I did it correctly. All right. So we've done 1 in the hundreds place, a couple in the tens place. Let's keep going. Now we've got some word problems. There are 11 elementary schools located near Miss Bowser's house. Each school was given 81 HP devices. How many devices were given to the 11 schools in all? So one school was given 81 devices. 2 schools were given 81 devices. 3 schools were given 81 devices. And so repeated addition is simply multiplication all the way down to the 11 schools. All right. So I am doing 11 times 81. And so again, the students are pretty good with the tens place. 11 is between 10 and 20. It's closest to 10. 81 is between 80 and 90. It's closest to 80. Looking for my basic fact. 1 times 8 is 8. 1, 2 zeros in my factors, 1, 2 zeros in my product. My estimated answer is that there were 800 devices given to the schools. All right. So my multiplication problem is 11 times 81. Now I'm doing 11. That's going to be 10 because there's 110, which is 10, and 1. And you go back and check it because 10 plus 1 equals 11. Then I have 80 plus 1, and 80 plus 1 is 81. Now I'll pair them together. 10 times 80 and 10 times 1. Now I'm finished with the 10, and now I'm at the 1. 1 times 80 and 1 times 1. 1 times 8 is 8. 1, 2 zeros in my factors, 1, 2 zeros in my product. 10 times 1 I know is 10. I don't need to look for the basic fact. 1 times 80 is 80. And 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to line it up. Here we go. 1, 2. Put my 8 in for 800. 0, 1 for 10. 0, 8 for 80. And 1. Put in zeros. Add it up. 1, 8 plus 1 is 9. 8, that's 891. And that's only 91 away from my estimated answer. All right. A local charity collected 163 cans of food every day for 14 days. How many cans did they collect in all? Again, for one day, it was 163 cans. For 2 days, it was 163 cans. For 3 days, it was 163 cans, all the way down to 14 days. And so repeated addition is just multiplication. So we have 14 times 163, or vice versa. I'm going to do the 163 because the students do struggle with the hundreds place. 100 and 200, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, and 163 would be about right here. And so as you can see, I am closer to 200 than I am to going all the way back down here to 100. So this would round to 200. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And 14 is between 10 and 20, and it is closest to 10. Basic fact, 1 times 2, which is 2, and there are 1, 2, 3 zeros in my factors, 1, 2, 3 zeros in my product. My estimated answer is that they collected about 2,000 cans. 163 times 14. 163. In the hundreds place, 100. And I'm going to add that extra line because there's a hundreds place. So that would be 160 because 6 tens is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then 3. And 14 is going to be 10 plus 4. Now I'm ready. 100 times 10 and 100 times 4. Finish with 100. 60 times 10, 60 times 4. Finish with 60. 3 times 10 and 3 times 4. Look for the basic fact. 1 times 1 is 1. 1, 2, 3 zeros in my factors. 1, 2, 3 zeros in my product. 1 times 4 is 4. 1, 2 zeros in my factor. 1, 2 in my product. 6 times 1 is 6. 1, 2 zeros in my factors. 1, 2 in my product. 6 times 4 is 24. 1 zero in my factor, 1 in my product. 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 times 4 is 12. Come here, line it up. $1,000, 1, 2, 3, and a 1. 1, 2, and a 4. 1, 2, and a 6. 1, 4, and a 2. 1 and a 3. And a 2 and a 1. Line it all up. Fill in zeros if you need to. Now I'm ready to add. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2. 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 1 more is 8. 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 2 more is 12. And 1 plus 0 is 1. And wait a second. 6 plus 4 is 10 is 12. Carry my 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. Made a mistake. And this is 2. And it is close to my estimated answer because 2,282 is only 282 off of 2,000. All right. And here we go. Miss Noel wants to organize the chairs for the winter concert. She wants to put 51 chairs in 10 rows. How many chairs will Miss Noel need for the winter concert? So she wants to put 51 chairs in 10 rows. In one row, she wants to put 51 chairs. In 2 rows, 51 chairs. In 3 rows, 51 chairs. All the way down to 10 rows. And so that would be repeated addition. So repeated addition is multiplication. 51 times 10. And so the 10 is between 10 and 20, and obviously it's closest to 10, so that stays the same. 51 is between 50 and 60, it's closest to 50. 5 times 1 is 5. 1, 2 zeros in the factors, 1, 2 zeros in the product. My estimated answer is 500. Multiplication problem, 51 times 10. Now this problem you could actually do the way that we've done the problems before, because this problem is actually a power of 10. So you could do 51 times 10. 51 times 1 is 51. How many zeros in the factor? 1. How many zeros in the product? 1. And you could get your final answer. You don't actually have to work this one out the long way. So your final answer would be 510. All right. So we're going to stop there. And that should be enough examples. We are going to go over some more in class. Obviously, we have this one, that we also have that we can go over. But we are going to be doing the algorithm for this for these. I'm sorry, not doing the algorithm. The standard algorithm would be the way that you and I learned, if parents are watching this video, the standard way of multiplying. But we're going to be using the area model, which is this piece right here. To solve these problems for the next couple of days. And we'll move into the standard algorithm and what that looks like when you go to multiply. I hope this video was helpful.